In the headlines, kidnappers demand 50 million naira ransom for 2 Taraba University students. Police vigilante group neutralized armed robbery suspect, arrest 1 in Nasarawa. India-bound passenger vomits, excretes 80 wraps of cocaine at Lagos airport. And on the international scene, Rwanda commemorates 1994 genocide with 100 days of mourning. A very good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Now the news in detail. The abductors of 2 students from the Federal University Wukari, Taraba State are demanding a ransom of 50 million naira for their release, according to Ashu Agbu, the head of the institution's Information and Protocol Unit. The students, Joshua Sardona from the Economics Department and Obiano Elizabeth from the Microbiology Department, were abducted while working at a restaurant. The kidnappers targeted the owner of the eatery but took the students instead. The incident occurred at a shop attached to the hostel where many students reside off campus. And despite the security agencies and local youth conducting searches in the surrounding forests, the kidnappers remain at large. Agbo emphasized that efforts to rescue the students alive and safe are ongoing, with plans for an expanded meeting on Monday involving security agencies and government representatives to address the issue comprehensively. And now joining us via telephone to discuss the development is Daily Trust Regional Editor Hamisu Matazu. Good evening and welcome to the news update, Hamisu. What developments do we have so far about the abducted students and the ransom demand by the abductors?
Good evening. So far, there's a calm in the university environment, even though since those students, the 2 students were abducted on the April 3rd, around 10 p.m., there was panic within the school area because students become very panic about the situation. And we learned that the security agencies and even volunteer youth rushed into the bush to see how they can rescue this. Unfortunately, a week later, there was a letter from the abductors that they demanded a ransom of 50 million. As it is now, we learned that they have reduced the ransom to 15 million naira. That's the situation for now. And though police have confirmed the abduction, and they are saying that they are on top of the situation to ensure that they secure the.
Okay, Hamisu, what about on campus? What's the situation there? You know, earlier when something similar to this happened in the Federal University, Gusau, there was sort of tension on campus. So can you tell us what the situation is within the campus? Matazu, can you hear me? Okay, so I think we may have lost Matazu. Moving on now as we try to reconnect with Matazu. The police in Nasarawa State, in collaboration with members of a vigilante group and courageous residents of Asokpada, Mararaba community in Karu local government area, have successfully neutralized a suspected armed robber who had been terrorized in the area. Now, additionally, they have arrested a 20-year-old suspect named Edache Joseph in connection with the crime. According to a statement by the police public relations officer DSP Rahman Nansel, the incident occurred on April 5th, 2024 at about 11:45 p.m. when information was received about a gang of 8 armed robbers attacking residents of Asokpada, Mararaba area in Karu local government area. The statement highlighted the concern over the increasing cases of armed robbery in Karu local government, particularly involving young boys aged between 19 and 25 years. To address this, the Commissioner of Police, Umar Shehu, Nadada reorganized the community policing approach by mobilizing the public and vigilante groups to collaborate closely with the police. DSP Nansel noted that the arrested suspect, Edache Joseph, is cooperating with the police investigation. The Commissioner of Police, Nadada, commended the efforts of the police operatives, vigilante group and community members for their bravery, assuring them of continued support from the command in safeguarding the lives of citizens. Also, Katsina Agro Rangers of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps successfully repelled an attack by suspected bandits on the federal government's grain silo located in the Dutsenma local government area of the state. Spokesperson for the NSCDC, Buhari Hamisu, disclosed in a statement released in Katsina on Sunday that the attack occurred on April 6th around 1 a.m. The bandits aimed to destroy the silo and abduct its manager, Lawal Shitu Yaradua. Responding swiftly, the Agro Rangers engaged the bandits in a fierce gun drill that lasted for over 2 hours, preventing any damage or abduction. The NSCDC has since deployed additional personnel to the location and bolstered the firepower of its operatives to forestall any further attacks. It's important to note that the silo plays a crucial role in storing grains for distribution to the people of Katsina, Zamfara and Sokoto states. Hamisu stressed that the NSCDC remains committed to promoting safety and security for the people of the state and Nigeria as a whole, ensuring the protection of critical national assets and infrastructure. And in response to the meningitis outbreak in Yobe State, the World Health Organization has provided essential medical supplies to aid containment efforts. Pharmacist Katugwa Emmanuel, representing WHO's interim Northeast Emergency Manager, Dr. Kumshida Yakubu Balami, handed over the supplies at the Yobe State University Teaching Hospital in Damaturu. These resources will enhance care for healthcare workers and patients, particularly in light of the emergence of a new strain, type C meningitis. The donation signposts WHO's commitment to supporting local health authorities in managing public health crises effectively. And farming communities of Gamsarka and Dabi in Jigawa will get 35 million naira each under the World Bank revolving fund to promote rice farming. The two villages were the worst hit by the flood last year have been identified as rice farming areas, with other irrigation crops also being produced in the area. Due to strategic importance of these rice-producing communities, the Jigawa state government, in collaboration with the World Bank, trained the farmers and grouped them into organizations in each community to access the revolving loan. Akrizel Jigawa, the body through which the program is implemented, said each community will be given 35 million naira. The benefiting communities are Gamsarka in Oyo local government and Dabi in Ringim local government of Jigawa state.
Gambo Mohammed, the government has been helpful. We appreciate their efforts. I personally have cultivated rice over 100 bags, and I could have done it without government support. When it's time for harvest, sometimes we put out over 50 trucks. I've been able to support my family. I've been able to achieve a lot from the farming business. Although we still have concerns when it comes to fertilizer, we want government to intervene in that aspect. I've been in this business for over 20 years. I've farmed between 2 and 2.5 acres of land. Farming has been a great source of income. We would like to appreciate the government for its support. I farm rice, maize, okra, among others. During our harvest period, we cultivate almost 1 million bags.
And Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa State has taken decisive action by suspending Aminu Kanta, the Commissioner of the Ministry of Commerce, following allegations of mismanagement of funds allocated to the iftar feeding program in Babura local government area. The suspension, effective immediately, underscores the government's commitment to transparency and integrity in governance, as emphasized in a statement released by the Secretary to the State Government, Bala Ibrahim. Governor Namadi's directive to suspend Kanta was conveyed in a letter delivered by Ibrahim, highlighting the seriousness with which the government is addressing the issue. The iftar feeding program, which aimed to provide meals during Ramadan across the 27 local government areas of the state, received a significant allocation of 2.8 billion naira from the State Executive Council. However, allegations of mismanagement have prompted swift action from the state government. Under the program, 600 centers were established with a minimum of 2 feeding points in every political ward, alongside designated centers in higher institutions across the state. And elsewhere, the Plateau State chapter of the Nigerian Union of Journalists have issued a resounding appeal for harmonious coexistence between Muslims and Christians, urging them to embrace fraternity regardless of ethno-religious backgrounds. Ayuku Pwaspo, the state chairman of the NUJ, emphasized this imperative during the inaugural Ramadan lecture hosted by the NUJ Plateau State Council. The event centered on the theme Lessons of Ramadan Beyond the Holy Month. Trust TV's Ado Musa completes the report.
In advocating for peaceful coexistence, Ayuku underscored the significance of Ramadan as a time when the Holy Quran was revealed, imparting divine guidance and nurturing spiritual enlightenment. As custodians of the Fourth Estate, she emphasized the Ramadan lecture as the union's modern endeavor to foster spiritual revival among its members and the broader society. Furthermore, she portrayed it as a platform for nurturing peaceful cohabitation and religious tolerance within Plateau State.
If you remember, in December we had our first carols, Christmas carols, and now we decided to do the Ramadan lecture. All these initiatives are geared towards peaceful coexistence and religious tolerance. As members of the Fourth Estate of the REM, we feel that people believe in us, people look up to us, and we are the ones providing information to the public. If we provide the right information to the public will also have a change of mind and live together in peace and harmony. Beyond us doing the reports of such events and just reporting it, let it be that journalists are the ones initiating it and also showing that indeed we're living in peace first as journalists, and that we're also promoting peace in our words and our actions.
Speaking at the occasion, State Commissioner for Information and Communication and Chairman of the occasion, Musa Ibrahim Ashoms, also emphasized the need for both Muslims and Christians to live together despite the ethno-religious conflict experienced in the state for the past 2 decades.
Whether you like it or not, the Muslim Ummah on the plateau has come to stay. So it's better you accept this reality and live with it. And it is important that the Muslim Ummah too knows that the Christian community here, nothing can happen to it. It has come to stay too. It's better we accept this reality and live in peace with one another. And peace is not just about pronouncements. It is action. It is what we do. Today is just the maiden edition. We pray for more series so that Plateau people will learn to live with one another, so that we become examples to others.
In his keynote address, the guest lecturer at the occasion, Deputy Imam of Faiba Mosque, Jos, Sheikh Umar Farooq Muhammad, emphasized the need for the Muslim community to sustain the lessons and values of Ramadan beyond the fasting period.
I have realized that there are many more lessons that we can learn from this month, regardless of our religious views. That is why today, the Christians and the Muslims observe fast together. I think it is last week we have the Good Friday, the Sunday, and the Easter Monday, right? And Christians too are fasting. They call it the Lent period. Ramadan is a special month of spiritual growth, self-discipline, and increased devotion. Muslims around the world eagerly anticipate this arrival and strive to make the most of the blessed days. But what happens once Ramadan is over? How can we continue to nurture and our spiritual and maintain the momentum gained during the great month?
Plateau State has been plagued by ethno-religious violent conflict, which has significantly divided communities across faith-based sentiment. This lecture is designed to bridge the gaps within the social fabric of the state. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And the Rivers State Police Command has issued a stern warning to politicians and the general public, urging them to address their grievances through lawful means rather than resorting to verbal attacks that could incite violence in the state. This caution follows recent verbal altercations involving Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike, and other political stakeholders regarding governance issues in the state. SP Grace Iringe Koko, the State Police Command's Public Relations Officer, emphasized in a press statement issued in Port Harcourt on Sunday that the command will not tolerate any actions that could lead to a crisis in the state. The command urged politicians and the public to maintain peace, abide by the law, and seek peaceful and lawful avenues to address their grievances. Koko reiterated that the command will maintain neutrality and a political stance in all matters concerning the current political situation in the state. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Despite government intervention, Kano community awaits solution to water scarcity. This and of course other stories after the break. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with the news update on Trust TV. Now a recap of our top stories again. Kidnappers demand 50 million naira ransom for 2 Taraba University students. And police vigilante group neutralized armed robbery suspect. Arrest 1 in Nasarawa. To other stories now. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has taken legal action against Senate President Godswill Akpabio for failing to refer the alleged 3.7 trillion naira budget pardon to appropriate anti-corruption agencies and for suspending whistleblower Senator Abdul Ningi. In the lawsuit filed at the Federal High Court, Abuja, SERAP seeks an order compelling Akpabio to refer the budget pardon allegations for investigation and prosecution. Additionally, SERAP demands the immediate reinstatement of Senator Abdul Ningi and the implementation of transparency measures to prevent the misappropriation of funds allocated for constituency projects. The lawsuit highlights the importance of accountability and integrity in the management of public funds, urging decisive action to address corruption allegations within the Nigerian Senate. And residents of Denya village in Bichi local government area of Kano State have expressed dissatisfaction with the quality of the water project initiated by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. The governor directed the immediate construction of solar-powered boreholes in 2 villages grappling with severe water scarcity persisting for over 40 years. Salim Ibrahim, who recently visited the village, filed this report.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf addressed concern about the plight of the residents of Danya and Kelembula villages in Bichi local government area that are about 35 kilometers away from the metropolitan area of the state. The governor's concern was raised after watching a report on an online TV channel which shows young girls passing nights daily on queue after trekking a long distance to fetch water in their villages. Worried by the situation, the governor directed the state's project coordinator of the agroclimate resilience in semi-arid landscapes, ACRESAL, Dr. Dahir Hanshim, to immediately mobilize tools and logistics to construct boreholes in the 2 communities. Subsequent to the development, the agency mobilized to the site, conducted surveys, and started drilling in search of water. However, the search for water was successful. The residents have faulted the quality of work being carried out.
They buried only 20 pipes and everybody in Denya complained to them that it will not get anywhere. In our neighbors Malikawa, between 25 to 30 pipes were buried to get the desired water. 20 pipes will not be enough.
1 solar-powered borehole with 6 taps is expected to be constructed in Denya with the hope that it will be enough for the inhabitants. However, in a recent visit to the project site at Denya village, it was observed that while the water had been drilled but not completed, residents were not smiling at the project. According to them, the quality of work done will not yield as much water as anticipated, as the amount of pipe to be buried is less than the required to get enough. They therefore called on the authorities concerned to come to their aid and deal with the problem once and for all. Salim Umar Ibrahim reporting for Trust TV.
And elsewhere, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA, arrested Freeman Charles Ogbonna, a Delhi-bound passenger at the screening point of the Terminal 2 of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos. Ogbonna was apprehended while attempting to board a flight to Delhi, India, via Doha on Qatar Airways using a Liberian passport under the name Car Bismarck. He had ingested 80 wraps of cocaine. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi disclosed in a statement that Ogbonna tested positive for drug ingestion during a body scan. Further checks revealed his real identity and he was placed under observation in NDLEA custody where he showed signs of discomfort. Similarly, NDLEA officers at the Lagos airport intercepted Imran Taufik Olalekan on Wednesday, April 3rd at Gate C departure of Terminal 1. Olalekan was traveling to Oman with check-in luggage and a backpack. Upon thorough search, drugs were found concealed in the check-in luggage and backpack. Another individual, Ishola Isiaka Olalekan, who accompanied the suspect to the airport, was identified as the recruiter. In another operation, NDLEA operatives at the Tinkan Seaport in Lagos intercepted 2,144 parcels of Colorado, a synthetic strain of cannabis weighing 1,072 kilograms. The seizure was made during a joint examination with the Customs Service of a container originating from Toronto, Canada. And away from Nigeria, Rwanda solemnly commemorated the 30th anniversary of the genocide on Sunday, reflecting on the horrors of the 100-day killing spree orchestrated by Hutu extremists in 1994. The violence claimed the lives of 800,000 people, predominantly Tutsis, but also moderate Hutus, leaving deep scars on the nation and the broader African Great Lakes region. President Paul Kagame, who led the Rwandan Patriotic Front, rebel militia that halted the genocide, presided over the ceremonies. He lit a remembrance flame at the Kigali Genocide Memorial, honoring the 250,000 victims buried there. Foreign dignitaries, including African heads of state and former U.S. President Bill Clinton, joined him in paying respects. The international community's inaction during the genocide remains a source of shame, with French President Emmanuel Macron acknowledging the failure to intervene. Kagame addressed the nation at a 10,000-seat arena in the capital, followed by a candlelight vigil in memory of the slain victims. Rwanda enters a week of national mourning with flags flown at half-mast and restrictions on public entertainment. The United Nations and the African Union will also hold remembrance ceremonies, ensuring that the atrocities of the past are never forgotten. And in sports, the transfer speculation surrounding Victor Osimhen continues to intensify, with Paris Saint-Germain reportedly willing to meet his 111.5 million euros release clause to bring him to the club from Napoli. Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis has acknowledged Osimhen's release clause, indicating that the club may not be able to prevent his departure. Chelsea, on the other hand, are exploring alternative striker options, including Girona's Artem Dovbyk. Manchester United, meanwhile, are planning for next season with Erik ten Hag as manager due to a lack of alternative options. However, the demands for a £34 million fee for Jadon Sancho could hinder his desired permanent move to Borussia Dortmund. And that wraps up the news update at this hour. Do well to follow us across all of our social platforms and also join our live stream on YouTube for more news, programs and documentaries. I'm Sakir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.